Singh, Chairman of International Spirits and Wine Association of India. He is also Chief Advisor for USL and Diageo. Mr. Singh, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Now let's talk about the new excise policy which has been introduced by the state of Punjab. Do you believe that this could have impact on consumption? Because the Punjab market is a very large market, at least for liquor stroke whiskey consumption.
Well, I think the Punjab excise policy for this year is a very progressive policy. They've tried to encourage competition and get rid of the monopolies. They have increased excise duty, but they've done it in a very creative way, which will keep the MRPs at the same level or slightly lower. So I don't think there will be any increase in prices, and therefore I don't think it will have any negative impact on demand.
Mr. Kiran, just yesterday we spoke with the Punjab FM as well, and he was talking about the number of vendors being cut and how that will break the monopoly and keep prices under control. What's the sense that you're getting, and how would you be viewing Punjab's policy versus the regular excise hike that has been adopted by the rest of the states?
Well, there has been an excise hike even in Punjab, but they're actually increasing the number of vendors to increase competition. And because there is increased competition, the margin of the trade will be reduced, and that's how they're keeping the prices down. So I think it's a very progressive policy. It's encouraging market forces. So overall, I think Punjab has definitely been positive.
Okay. What is your general sense on the volume growth for USL and, for that matter, branded, retailers, branded liquor companies? The volume picture has been quite patchy. Of course, there are factors like highway ban, demonetization, which has impacted the aggregate picture. But are you getting a sense that double-digit growth is coming back now?
Well, I think, first of all, I just want to correct, I'm no longer advisor to Diageo India. I'm the executive chairman of the International Wine and Spirits Association of India. And I will be talking about the industry in general. I think, although there have been excise hikes in a few states, Maharashtra and Karnataka to be specific, Karnataka gives us a price increase every 2 years, so I don't think it'll have any impact on demand for our industry. Similarly, Maharashtra is a free pricing market, and again, there will be no change in the demand pattern for our industry. I think also what's happening is we're talking to states and saying excise policy is not just about the revenue model. There are actually 3 pillars to a excise policy. Revenue model being one, the second being ease of doing business, and the third, very importantly, is curbing irresponsible consumption. I think anybody who sells alcohol, whether it's the government or the companies, even the trade, should be spending on education and promotion of curbing irresponsible consumption. The biggest bad advertisement for our industry is somebody consuming alcohol and making a nuisance of himself. We don't want it. We believe that the only solution prohibition is not a solution. The only solution is promoting responsible consumption, like they're doing in other parts of the world, in the UK, in the US. And we're talking to states more and more. Karnataka, for the first time, has put 10 crores away in its budget for promoting responsible consumption. And that's the way to go for the sustainability of our industry. And I think there's a buy-in by state governments who actually believe that this is a huge revenue for them. So they need to protect it and they need to sustain it as well. So it's a symbiotic relationship with the states that we are trying to develop. And I think it's going to augur well for the industry.
But my question to you is that when do you think double-digit growth will come back, at least for large premium categories?
So the premium categories are growing faster. I wouldn't want to crystal ball gaze and say when double digit will come back, but the trends are towards premiumization. I think the states are realizing that as well. They are trying to see how they can reduce the fixed component of duties, actually increase the fixed component and reduce the ad valorem component, which actually encourages premiumization. So I think everyone wants people to drink less and drink better, and that's one of the messages that we're giving to the states. And I think the premium brands will grow much faster than they have in the past. You've seen Karnataka; they've slashed their excise duties on imported brands. So a bottle of Johnny Walker Black and Chivas Regal that were about 7,000 rupees in Bangalore is now down to 4,000 rupees. So all these are very positive trends for the industry overall.
You know, just to get in a broader picture as well, Mr. Singh, is the Indian liquor industry set for a prolonged period of declining growth, largely on account of the hard stance that has been taken by the state governments against liquor?
Well, I think if you look at it, what's happened in India, I mean, people had heard of the prohibition that didn't work in the US, but in the late 90s, Andhra Pradesh and Haryana brought in prohibition on the demand from certain women's groups. In 18 to 2 years, they actually put their hands up and said, you know, we're man enough. We tried prohibition, it's failed, and they removed prohibition. What was happening was that although they had implemented prohibition, liquor consumption was continuing unabated, and the revenues for the state for development work were going down. So they said it doesn't work. And we actually believed that it will, this will stop other states from trying this that has failed everywhere in the world. But now that it's happened in India and people have tried it, it won't happen again. But 15 years later, prohibition raised its head again in Bihar. But if you look at what's happened in Bihar, again, I mean, people don't learn from experience. They try to reinvent the wheel. And it's a complete mess. Jobs have gone, restaurants and bars don't have business. There are 100,000 people in jails for various reasons connected with prohibition, and mafias are being created, as the Bihar government admitted just last week. There's a lot of alcohol flowing around in the state. So the way to deal with it is promoting responsible consumption.
Okay, Mr. Singh, we got to leave it there. Thank you for your wonderful view and sharing your big picture analysis as to what lies ahead for the liquor industry.